just I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was just I started catching a few of the back markers and a bit of a gust of wind. I've hit a bump a little bit wrong, and it's really caught me out quite weirdly. So yeah, I mean, I took it much easier in the second stint. I didn't need to push anymore. So the car was good. The car was great in the first half, but I mean, I feel like it's also a track where you have to manage the tyres well. You have to not make mistakes. It's kind of it's a track who can push it up to the walls more consistently and more often, and I feel like that's what I did today. So it's been an amazing weekend, so very, very happy to end it off like this.
Quite quickly almost I realized that it was not possible to follow, and I just tried to do my own race and just keep my momentum going, even though of course it was not the same pace as Lando. First stint was a bit difficult. I had a lot of rear decks, a lot of sliding, I think that just cost me a lot of lap time. And then the second stint was a little bit more competitive. It's still not, of course, where we want to be, but I think overall, it was a bit more promising. But we still need to figure out, of course, the base pace, the long run pace a bit more. We know that, of course, this track is not ideal for us, but I think even on a normal track at this stage, we still can't fight them.
You know, after qualifying, that was the most we could have hoped for, and nice damage limitation. You know, it's always nice to end up on the podium, and nice haul of points for the team. You know, it's a really successful night, especially compared to our main championship rivals. So glad I could be a part of it.
Yesterday I arrived here very angry because of the tyres. Looking back at it, yes, the tyres were not exactly in the right window, but this happens very often in qualifying. And I think the main issue was me locking up into turn one and going wide and having track limits and a bad lap and everything. So yeah, with hindsight, I think I was probably the one to blame yesterday, and it happened. So there will be qualifying that we do well, and qualifying is where you do a mistake, especially when you have only one lap, and then you pay the price. The only problem is that to not do a lap in Q3 here in Singapore is probably the track where you pay the price the most. But again, if I look only today, I feel like we've done a really, really, really good job.
Damage limitation for us today, especially after a very tricky start where we had to take avoiding action to a Williams that nearly took 2 or 3 out of the race, and we had to just avoid the damage, and from then on felt like we were always going to be stuck in that midfield group with the lack of overtaking opportunities here in Singapore, and decided to box out of the way in lap 12, undercut the whole midfield, leaving us exposed at the end of the race with a very worn tyre. But at least I did some good overtakes there at the beginning, managed to show a bit of pace and then just survive until the end.
Obviously the qualifying yesterday was very encouraging, and starting P7 we were dreaming P8, P9 was possible, and at the end we achieved it. Good strategy by the team. We were behind Nico, we undercut in lap 23, and we managed to overtake him. So overall 8th I think is the maximum, and now we have a little break before Austin, and we have to find some performance in the car. We've been losing a little bit of ground compared to the top teams, and we are in the middle of the midfield, and we want to change this situation.
Well, obviously good, happy to get points. You know, that's what matters. Obviously, from that point of view, good. Few things I think to look into and review in terms of strategy, but yeah, otherwise clean race. Obviously not very eventful, but quite stressful. Keeping the Red Bull at bay for the whole second stint. Yeah, it was tough to bring it home with the tires and everything, but we managed, and happy and a bit of redemption from last week.
The strategy, looking at it, probably when you see where Carlos finished, probably we lost an opportunity to make more progress and undercut more people. But once we were on a similar tire age behind Nico, it was that pretty much it.
It is a bit frustrating, of course, because I've done the best I could to finish in the top 10, and I think with what I've done, it was possible and should have been possible to finish in the top 10. It was possible to keep Checo behind. It's a very difficult track to overtake, and I think we just didn't defend well our position, and it's very difficult to get up there at the points, and more in a track like Singapore that is not the best for us. And I just think that we need to defend that a little bit better and not let these mistakes happen again, because just by stopping a lap too late we lost we lost the place on the points, but it is what it is. We win and we lose together, and I think it was a very positive race.
Very frustrated with the start. Yeah, for sure. It was more towards to myself that the start was poor, but yeah, something feels still not right. Definitely have to do better in the future.
We lacked, too much performance today. Obviously, we finished 13th. It's, not far off the points, but it's still quite far. Looking at the pace and how we lost, the cars in front. To know that just pulled away in front and we were not able to keep the train, with them. We hope that during the break, we can figure out something and capture the opportunities that there will be to capture until the end of the year.
Yeah, difficult day, difficult weekend. Just struggling with the car and the balance and no grip out there. So it was a tough day.
I think it was a good race for us. We did the best we could. From my side, I think it was a very strong pace compared to how we are in one lap pace. And like I said, I've always been stronger in the race this year than the quality, just because I'm just struggling finding the confidence zone in that car at the moment. But the race again was a decent pace together. We was, I think, similar to Stroll ahead, and then play the teamwork at the end, try to give Autry a DRS, so Pierre couldn't get past him.
Maybe slightly better. Still not an easy day like expected, and also no help from safety cars today. But I just had a issue with my brakes in the beginning of the race. They overheated and I started locking up, so lost some time there. But if I look at the race, I don't think we would actually do much different. We could also work together as a team at the end of the race to keep Gasly behind.
What was going through my mind is that I was being sacrificed at the moment to slow down the car that were coming back behind to help Esteban to catch them up. So not good. Fundamentally we're just too slow, and it forces us in trying interesting strategy out there. So not pleasant. Kind of frustrating. 3 races ago in Zandvoort we're in the top 10, and then the last 3 races we've been absolutely nowhere. So
yeah, a lot of emotions because I'm aware it could be it, and I think it's also just exhausted after the race. So there's so much, just like a flood of many emotions and feelings and exhaustion, and the cockpit is something that I got very very used to for many years, just wanted to savor the moment.
We weren't quick on the hard tire. We tried to do the opposite strategy, go long, hope for a safety car in that middle window there, and didn't happen. Of course, we had to cut it short because we were just too slow on the hard, and then of course had the puncture at the end.
The engine issue is a shame, but honestly I don't think it would have changed the race. I think we lost it in the beginning of the race. The car was really strong. It's been really quick all weekend. It's one of them ones where normally when you have when you score points and the car's not quite there to score points, it's satisfying. This weekend's kind of done the opposite thing. It feels like we've always had a car in the top 10 this weekend and we come away pointless.